You've probably heard these fat loss tips 100 times. They sound logical. They're everywhere on social media, in gyms, even from trainers. But here's the ugly truth, they're not just useless, they're keeping you fat. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 worst fat loss tips that sabotage progress, and what you should do instead. Stick around until the end, because I'll also give you the simple formula that actually works. Worst tip number 1. Eat less and move more. This is the most common advice you'll ever hear. Sounds simple, right? Just eat less food and do more exercise. The problem? It's way too simple. Here's why it fails. When you drastically cut calories, your body doesn't just keep burning at the same rate. It adapts. Your metabolism slows down. Your body burns fewer calories at rest. So what happens? At first, you lose weight quickly. But then the progress stalls. You feel exhausted. Hunger goes through the roof. And cravings hit harder than ever. That's why so many people fall into yo-yo dieting. They starve, lose some weight, hit a wall, and then binge. The lost weight comes back, and usually brings a few extra pounds with it. What to do instead? Don't starve yourself. Aim for a moderate calorie deficit, something you can actually sustain. Pair it with strength training so your metabolism stays high. That's how you burn fat without destroying your energy. Worst tip number 2. Do hours of cardio every day. Cardio isn't the enemy. But turning cardio into your only fat loss tool? That's a disaster. Here's what happens when you rely on endless cardio. Yes, you burn calories while running, biking, or hitting the stair-stepper. But your body adapts fast. Over time, you burn fewer calories doing the same workout. On top of that, too much cardio spikes stress hormones like cortisol. High cortisol makes fat loss harder, especially around your midsection. It can also eat away at muscle, which is the last thing you want. Why does muscle matter? Because muscle is metabolic gold. The more muscle you carry, the more calories you burn just sitting around. So if you're grinding out 90 minutes of cardio every day but skipping resistance training, you're working against yourself. What to do instead? Use cardio as a tool, not a punishment. Mix in strength training 3 to 4 times a week. Do cardio moderately, maybe 20 to 40 minutes a few times a week. That's the sweet spot for burning fat while keeping muscle. Worst tip number 3. Cut out all carbs. Carbs are the most misunderstood nutrient in fat loss. You'll hear people swear, "I cut out carbs and the weight melted off," but here's the catch, most of that weight was water. Carbs hold water in your muscles. So when you ditch them, the scale drops fast. It feels like magic. But it's not fat, it's dehydration. The real problem comes later. Without carbs, your energy tanks. Workouts feel like garbage. Your mood crashes. And most people can't sustain a zero-carb lifestyle. Eventually, cravings build. You cave, eat carbs, and then binge hard. The lost weight piles back on, sometimes even faster. What to do instead? Don't cut out carbs. Use them strategically. Base your carb intake on activity. On training days, eat more quality carbs like rice, potatoes, oats, or fruit. On rest days, lower your carbs a little. That way you fuel performance and still lose fat. Worst tip number 4. You have to eat 6 meals a day to speed up metabolism. This one refuses to die. You'll hear people say, eat every 2 to 3 hours to stoke the metabolic fire. Sounds smart. But here's the truth, meal frequency doesn't matter. Whether you eat 2 meals or 6, what matters most is total calories and protein. Your body isn't magically burning more fat because you're constantly chewing. For a lot of people, eating 6 meals a day is a nightmare. It takes up mental energy. You're always thinking about food. And honestly, most people end up eating more calories when they do this. What to do instead? Eat the number of meals that actually fits your lifestyle. If that's 2 or 3 big meals, great. If that's 4 meals, fine. Just hit your protein target and keep calories in check. For some people, intermittent fasting works beautifully. For others, traditional breakfast lunch dinner works better. The key is consistency, not meal timing myths. Worst tip number 5, sweat more equals burn more fat. This is one of the most misleading tips out there. Sweat is just your body cooling itself down. It has nothing to do with fat loss. But you'll still see people wearing sweatsuits, sitting in saunas, or doing detox workouts. And yes, the scale might drop after one of those sessions. But that's not fat, it's water weight. As soon as you rehydrate, the weight comes back. It's smoke and mirrors. What to do instead? Don't chase sweat. Chase progress. Focus on workouts that build strength, preserve muscle, and put you in a calorie deficit. That's how real fat loss happens. The big picture: now you know the 5 worst fat loss tips. Don't starve yourself with eat less, move more. Don't grind endless cardio sessions. Don't cut carbs completely. Don't stress over eating 6 meals a day. And don't fall for sweat equals fat loss scams. So what should you do? Here's the formula that actually works: create a moderate calorie deficit. Eat enough protein, around 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Lift weights 3 to 4 times a week to keep muscle. Add cardio moderately for extra calorie burn. Prioritize sleep and stress management so your hormones stay balanced. Do those 5 things consistently, and you'll lose fat. Not just for a few weeks, but for good. If you found this helpful, don't waste another day on the myths. Apply the real strategies that actually work. And if you want more old school wisdom and modern fat loss truths, subscribe to Shredded Truths. Because the next video might just save you months of wasted effort.